Hi, my name is Marietta Mehanni and it's time for a combination. Woohoo! And what we're going to do is combine it with a move I've not taught in class before, and that is toes on the bottom of the pool, open and close legs. So I call this the clam, we call it the butterfly. I have done this suspended, but I've never thought of doing this with my feet on the bottom. So we're opening and closing the legs. The feet stay together, which is a little bit easier to do when you have your feet actually on the bottom of the pool. So there's no real activation of the glutes to have to try and press the feet together as when you're suspended. Then you have to work a little bit harder. But I'm just opening and closing here. Now the arms are just open, close, open, close. The fingers are open. I'm just moving the hands in and out. Now, as an exercise, it's not really it's not a big deal. I'll be honest with you, I don't really find I'm feeling it in my inner thighs or my hip muscles, hip abductors. I'm not feeling it, okay? I'm going to tell you that. But when we put it together, the combination, it makes sense. So out, in, out, in. So this is what I call the grounded butterfly or the clam, whatever you want to call it. And then I combine it with a big M jack. Now you're going to see how this will work. So we're doing a big M jack and then two clamps. It goes like this. Out, in, out, in, out, in. Up, in, out, in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So that is option one. It's getting my heart rate up, I'm using my lower body and my arms. If I'm working them through the water and creating that sort of turbulence, I'm getting a little bit of an upper body workout. So that's option one. What I'm going to do now is I'll show you option one to start with, and then I'll show you what I call option two. Option one, big M, butterfly, big M. Now what's option two? Big M, out, in, out, in. Touch the bottom for big M, out, in, touch the bottom for big M, out, in. Yes. Now I'm feeling a little bit more because my feet are suspended, but then I'm pushing off the bottom to my big M. And that's fun to do. That got my heart rate up, and it was great to do something where I'm pushing off the bottom and then I'm suspended. So there's sort of that propulsion, that power aspect, and then I'm suspended. It's really cool. I really like this combination, and I hope that you give it a go. It's a good heart rate one, but start off by teaching the butterfly first, then teach the big M jack, and then go one big M jack and two of these in and out, one big M jack, two of these, and then if your class has got it, then teach them how to take their feet off the bottom. I wouldn't teach them this action on its own. I'd put it together and give it a choice. And that's when people are more likely to give that option two a go. Anyway, I thought I'd share with you something different that I've put together, and that is this week's Aqua Tip. Don't we love a combination and no equipment? So I've got my tools out here to help demonstrate the movement. I will prefer to use the Aqua frame for this. You can do it on a chair, and I'll show the two. So I'll go back and forth between the two. So the first one was that clam action. And what's really cool about the clam action is you've just got your toes just resting on the bottom of the pool. And that's why the frame's great, because you can hold yourself up and just let your feet gently tap and be on the floor, demonstrating the legs. But then you show what the arms are doing. So the arms, the fingers are spread apart. You're pushing the water in and out with the back of the hand and the palm. The elbow stays to the side of the body, right? It doesn't move in and out here. So you've got to keep those elbows still, right, as you do that. So that's how you would do it on the frame. You could also just sit yourself on the back of the frame and do this with your toes just on the back bar. And if you get your balance, you can demonstrate both at the same time. But I would definitely show them first that the toes are in contact with the floor. On the chair, not hard. Remember, this is not a very hard exercise for them to do. You can definitely do this, but I would turn side on to demonstrate how the heels are not on the bottom, so they don't have their feet flat, which will make it awkward for them to actually get that motion with the hips. They need to just be gently resting the toes on the bottom of the pool. So there's no calf action here, they're just sort of sitting in the water. And as I mentioned, when I was in the pool, it's not a hard exercise. So then you would then demonstrate the big M jack. With the frame, you can do it either this way and demonstrate the legs and then the arms, which are exactly the same as the butterfly arms, or you can sit on the back of the frame and show them this way, or, and this is my preference, turn the frame around and demonstrate the jump this way and then the arms. Of course, not that hard to do in the chair, sitting down, lifting the knees up and down. The only thing that you can't communicate in the chair well is that real propulsion action that you want them to do. So you will have to get up and sort of go, come on, jump up and down. So putting it all together. Now, remember there was option 1. So option 1 can be demonstrated this way, where you've got a big M jack and then the 1, 2. Big M jack, 1, 2, and you've got the arms. Then you demonstrate the arms. If I have a frame, I always have a chair next to me because I like to demonstrate it using the frame because I think it's more realistic to what they're actually doing in the water. Then get into the chair to then explain how the arms are going to work with the legs. But of course, if you don't have a frame, then the chair is your only option, right? And I would prefer to use the frame this way. And all you have to do is tell your class 1 big M jack, 2 butterflies. It's all in the demonstration for this in regards to what you're cueing. Just remember that they've got to push off the bottom of the pool. So push off the bottom of the pool and then stay down low with the toes just on the bottom of the pool. So that's option 1. And it's when we put that big M move with the butterfly action that the heart rate starts to go up, right? And then you've got option 2, which is the really cool one, which is you're pushing off the bottom of the pool, but then your feet are off the bottom. So push off and then feet off the bottom. So you can do it like this. Jump out, jump in, feet off the bottom for 2. Jump out, jump in, feet off the bottom for 2. So it's a little bit about demonstrating it, and then the arms stay exactly the same. And you can do the chair. So the chair is, you know, you jump out, jump in, feet off the bottom, jump out, jump in, feet off the bottom. Now, what I would also recommend that when you're demonstrating, that you encourage the real push-pull with the arms. So you will have to stop and then demonstrate effort. Now watch what I just did. I went push, push. So I moved my body a little bit to demonstrate effort. Watch what happens when I don't do it. It's really hard to really demonstrate effort. So effort is a real physical thing, and from a visual point of view, this is something you have to exaggerate. Not that you want everyone's heads to go forwards and back, but you're on land and you're trying to demonstrate the amount of effort you want them to apply. So doing a little bit of this sort of action with your body helps them understand what you're wanting them to achieve in the water. Love this little combination. Not a hard one to demonstrate, especially if you've got two tools, but if all you have is a chair, it'll work perfectly. And I hope that you enjoy this and do it in your class. And that is this week's Aqua Tip.